The gym may only be half full, but electricity can be felt in the air. Welcome to Tippin Gymnasium for the final home game for the men's basketball team. Welcome to CU TV Sports. I'm Ian Hunter, joined by Matt Cacciarlo. Matt, it comes down to this. It's not been the greatest season ever, but you know what? Senior night still brings a special electricity to the air.
Oh, it always does, because you want to send your seniors out on a high note. It's been a tough year, as you mentioned, Ian, for the Golden Eagles. And you're going to see guys like Drew Vandermeer, Calvin Edwards, David Colbert all get their opportunities tonight to showcase their talents for one final time in front of their fans.
It should be a great game. Again, today is senior night. Clarion will be honoring Dave Colbert, Calvin Edwards, Lenny Patterson, and Drew Vandermeer. Drew Vandermeer will get the opportunity to start tonight's game, as will Dave Colbert and Calvin Edwards. So every senior will get his opportunity to start in his final home game today. Obviously, Golden Eagles are already out of any playoff race, but with a 6-19 record, those four guys have something to play for tonight, Matt.
Well, absolutely. They want to end the year on the high note. This is their final game of their college career, probably for most of these guys, if not all of them, their last basketball game that they'll ever play in their life, or competitive basketball, that is. And especially for guys like Dave Colbert, Drew Vandermeer, who haven't really played much this year, especially for Drew Vandermeer, 6'6", 185-pound senior forward, right here from Clarion, PA, Clarion High School. And then Calvin Edwards, we know has been playing all year. David Colbert started in the lineup, and then his playing time decreased as the season went on. They'll get a chance tonight to finally showcase his talents for one last time.
Tonight's player spotlight will be on Corey Belovich. Belovich is the junior, 6'3", 195-pound junior. Has been playing very well these past 5 games. Averages 11. Those past 5 games, 51% from the field over that span. Has hit 10 3-pointers. He also has double-digit point efforts in 3 of his last 5 games, Matt. Since he has entered that starting lineup, the guard play for the Golden Eagles has been so improved.
And it has. And Corey Belovich has been a big reason for that, Ian. Like you mentioned, he just, for whatever reason, just made the offense flow better. And he's always been a great contributor off the bench the entire year, especially from beyond the arc. Good inside play, very good rebounder, very good defender, very athletic player overall. And as soon as he came into the lineup, he whatever intensity he brought to the court worked, and it just made everything flow a lot better for Clarion on both sides of the floor.
Matt, speaking of flow, I know you have your keys to the game today. Why don't we talk about them?
Well, first off, have fun. That's my first one. You have nothing to lose tonight, obviously with everything being out of reach as far as playoffs are concerned, and send the seniors out on a high note. It's their final game. They're going to want to have some fun and try and get a win here tonight. Second is value of possession. I had the chance to interview Coach Ryder this week for the Clarion Call, and Coach Ryder told me that value of possession, or lack of a better word, turnovers, has been one of the main things that's been killing Clarion this year, and that's the one thing, especially against Edinburgh on Saturday, when they were only down by 1, and then the second half, everything kind of crumbled because of all the turnovers that they have and not valuing their possessions down the stretch in the second half. And that was much of a factor for virtually every game this season for Clarion, and who knows what's going to happen if they could have won a lot more of those games. The third is win the rebound battle. Cal has, on average, been out-rebounded only by 1, but you see that stat, and you can try and exploit that a lot with guys like Evan Battle, Corey Belovich, even Lenny Patterson, Aaron Johnson. Those guys down in the post, as well as the 2 guards that I just mentioned, can make a difference in that tonight.
So right now, the seniors are being walked to midcourt. Mike Kromka was there with Calvin Edwards. We saw Dave Colbert being introduced earlier. Calvin Edwards, one of the better shooters in team history, ranks 14th all time in school history with 90 3-pointers. Has had a bit of a down year, but last year, Matt, when he got rolling, especially his outside shooting, he was a fun player to watch.
Oh, absolutely, and he at that points of the game, he brought that intensity and again made the offense flow. But when he was cold, there was no flow to the offense whatsoever, and a lot of those shots, Ian, were in critical points of certain games.
So real quick, we'll go over the starting lineups. Like I said, it will include all 4 seniors that are being honored here today. The final one will be Lenny Patterson here momentarily. But today's starting lineup for the Golden Eagles: number 3, Calvin Edwards, a 6'3", 175-pound senior from Delaware, Ohio. The only senior not starting today, or excuse me, the only non-senior starting today, Marcus Jones, the 5'10", 180-pound sophomore from Milford, Delaware. Marcus has been much improved over the latter half of the season. Number 10, Dave Colbert, the 6'4" forward, the senior from Youngstown, Ohio. Lenny Patterson starts at guard, the 5'10", 175-pound senior from Cleveland, Ohio. And finally, number 31, Drew Vandermeer, the 6'6", 185-pound senior from, as Matt mentioned earlier, Clarion. Was transferred from Grove City College just a few years ago. For the Cal Vulcans, starting at guard/forward, the 6'5", 195-pound senior Quentin Harding, who's been remarkable down the stretch, played very well against the Golden Eagles last time. Current PSAC Freshman of the Week, Jake Ubeck, the 6', 165-pound freshman guard from Southern Ohio. Tynell Fortune, the 5'10", 155-pound sophomore guard from Halem, New York. Number 22, Chris Williams.
You want the 5 more minutes to warm up? Yeah.
The guard/forward, the 6'5", 200-pound junior from Philadelphia. And finally, Mitchell Whedon, the 6'5", 225-pound senior from Frederick, Maryland. So we'll see the Cal Vulcans take to the floor right now. Each team will get a few more minutes to warm up as our senior day festivities are over. So Matt, why don't we do this? Why don't we talk a little bit about some of the other seniors, like the other seniors that what we expect to see from them today.
They're going to come out with everything they got, and again, this is their final game of the year. A chance to showcase everything that they got against a very good team like Cal, a playoff-bound team. They'll face Gannon in the first round of the playoffs this weekend for Cal, and it's all they're going to do is just come out and play the best that they can do.
So the Cal Vulcans, as Matt just said, going to the playoffs this weekend, will be playing a very talented Gannon team. That same Gannon team has beaten the Golden Eagles a few times. Records coming into this game: 6-19 overall for the Golden Eagles, 4-17 in the PSAC West. The Cal Vulcans 11-14, 10-11 in the PSAC. It's been a down year for the Cal Vulcans, but they have a lot of youth on this team. Only 3 seniors for the Cal Vulcans, and those are Mitchell Whedon, Keith Lowe, who we will see very shortly, a very talented player, averaging 15 points a game for the Cal Vulcans. And then finally, Quinton Harding, 6'5" senior. Only 3 of them, but this is a lot of talent on this team. So Matt, what do you expect for guys like Marcus Jones tonight, who are going to be feeding off the energy of senior night, even though they're younger?
Well, they're going to continue to get that intensity from their seniors, and they're going to want to play for them tonight and get them a W and send them out on a high note. It's been a tough year, as you mentioned, for the Golden Eagles, and nothing really has gone their way. So the best that those young guys can do tonight is play for their teammates, for those teammates that are graduating this year.
And you can see a couple of the players on Clarion's team are wearing the jerseys, the warm-ups of other players. On the screen you see is Mike Kromka. He's wearing the warm-up of Ralph Naples Jr. Mike Kromka has been the glue for this team this year, Matt.
Absolutely, especially down in the post. See, we mentioned the size disadvantage all season long. We knew that coming into this season. And Mike Kromka really at 6'5" has done the job against some of many tougher opponents down in the post. One guy that I always bring up is Luis Santos, probably one of the tallest guys I've ever seen in this conference scene at 6'10". He's had a lot of tough battles against very tall teams. We saw him play IUP a couple weeks ago, a lot of tall players actually on that team. So he's really fought hard.
And playing really well against Ryan Terrio last Saturday as well.
And he's really fought hard down in the post all year, getting the tough rebounds, getting the tough points. But also, too, he's knocked down a lot of big shots, mid-range jumper to deep jumpers also.
So while Mike Kromka has been the most consistent player on this team, the latter half of the year, Matt, we've seen some consistency creep back in to this team. Do you think they just needed some time?
It's tough to say. We thought that we were under the impression that everything was clicking early and it's been practice, and the way that the kind of team that Clarion wanted to be was a transition team, and for that to happen, you need to have a good amount of chemistry to find your guys out on the open floor and get out quick and play good defense, so you have to have good chemistry on the defensive end. So, but we obviously didn't see that this year, but as the year kind of kept going on, you added Aaron Johnson into the mix. We mentioned Corey Velvich in the player spotlight, playing a lot better in this second half of the season. That kind of helped things better off too, but I guess a little bit of everything kind of occurred for Clarion there.
Clarion still has something to play for tonight, Matt. As we said, obviously you want to send your seniors out on a good note, but Clarion is also trying to avoid their first 20-loss season in school history. 6-19 right now. If they lose today, it will be the first 20-loss season in school history. They will obviously try to avoid that in tonight's contest with the Cal Vulcans. Last time these two teams played, Matt, it was a great battle. I expect to see that again.
Absolutely. They played some good ball the last couple games. Ian, you mentioned how great the guard play has been, especially shooting the ball. We mentioned that's been a real big struggle this year. Everything is clicking together now for the Golden Eagles, just not exactly at the right time as everything is virtually out of reach.
So in a few seconds, we'll be sending it down to the national anthem, and then we will review the starting lineups before tip-off. So now we're going to send it down to the national anthem. We'll be right back after this is sung. So Matt, let's review the starting lineups before we have tip-off. For the Golden Eagles, number 3, Calvin Edwards, the senior from Delaware, Ohio, will start, as will Marcus Jones, who will be playing point guard. Dave Colbert will be starting at forward. Lenny Patterson at the other guard spot, and Drew Vandermeer will be playing at center. Obviously, we'll be seeing Mike Kromka check in fairly recent into the contest. And finally, the Cal Vulcans, Quinton Harding will start at guard. Jake Eubank, the reigning freshman of the week, will also start at guard. Tynell Fortune will be playing the other guard spot at 5'10", 155 pounds. Chris Williams, the 6'5" guard/forward, will be starting, as will Mitchell Whedon, the 6'5", 225-pound senior from Frederick, Maryland. Matt, this is going to be one of the only teams this year that Clarion will have a similar matchup with, and I mean height, weight, size, speed, everything.
That's exactly it, and it's going to come down to who shoots the ball better, who makes those defensive stands and critical points of the ball game. We haven't seen that from Clarion this year, but playing better as of late, that'll be the critical point of this game.
So we're getting ready to start things off. Matt, let's go through the seniors and everything that they've really done so far. Dave Colbert, the business management major, has, like we have mentioned earlier, hasn't really played a whole lot. His career high is 9 points, and he got that on February 7th of 2011. career best 4 rebounds and 2 assists. And that was in December of 2011. Moving on now to Calvin Edwards, as we mentioned earlier, has made 93 pointers in his career here with the Golden Eagles. A career best 7 assists versus Shippensburg in 2011. And his best season was last year when he averaged 13 points a game with 59 three-pointers. Lenny Patterson has been a 3-year player after transferring from Clark State Community College. He's been a 2-year starter since taking over for Lloyd Harrison just last year. Had a career best 22 points versus Houghton earlier this season. Had 8 rebounds versus Shippensburg in December and had 8 assists against Gannon just a few weeks ago on January 21st, 5 steals versus Lock Haven on January 23rd. And then finally, Drew Vandermeer has only appeared in 35 games, has 30 points in his Clarion career, but had 276 and 176 points and 178 rebounds in 2 years at Grove City. So he's still a talented player. And right now we're looking at another talented player, Tynell Fortune, playing guard for the Cal Vulcans. Tynell, only 5'10", 155 pounds, but he makes up for it in quickness and speed, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ian, you mentioned a couple of all the seniors, what they've done during their 4-year career here. We could see a couple of milestones tonight, depending on how long some of these seniors play. David Colbert, 7 points away from 100 career points. Lenny Patterson just 5 points away from 500 career points. So it'll be interesting to see if those guys can get into the triple digits for Drew Vandermeer and get into 500 for Lenny Patterson here tonight.
And the Cal Vulcans win the tip-off, and they're going to get their offense rolling. Mitchell Whedon is going to get that ball down low, set up this Cal offense. Now the ball's in the hands of Ubeck. Cal Vulcans is going to pass this ball around to start off. A lot of passing around the perimeter for the Cal Vulcans. They're going to send it down low. Ball is lost, picked up by Lenny Patterson. Lenny's going to roll down the floor and pass it off. Drew Vandermeer give that ball back to Marcus Jones. Clarion will set up their offense with 19-17 remaining in this first half.
And once again, Ian, good start defensively for Clarion. Good strip there by Lenny Patterson down to the post on Mitchell Whedon, giving Clarion their first possession.
Lenny goes to the hoop, no good. Rebound picked up by Harding, and Harding will give it off to Tynell Fortune. Tynell finds some room, kicks it out. And Cal just take their time. Not going to force any shot of the Cal Vulcans today.
And then, like I said, Ian, they have their first playoff game against Gaddon this weekend. They want to get some momentum, get some good flow offensively to bring it into the playoffs.
Three-pointer attempt is up and good for Chris Williams. Nope, they're going to call that a deep 2. So Cal strikes first with 18.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Now Lenny Patterson will set up for the Golden Eagles and pass the ball to Colbert. Colbert for 3. No good. Rebound is picked up by Tynell Fortune. Fortune looking around. Passes the ball off down low and no good for Whedon. Rebound is picked up by Dave Colbert. And a three-pointer from Calvin Edwards quickly is good for Calvin.
Good find from the corner there by Marcus Jones. Calvin Edwards knocking it down from downtown like we've been accustomed to seeing the last 4 years.
That gives Clarion the lead, 3-2, under 18 to play. And Cal loses the ball. Quickly picked up by Harding. Harding will pass it off to Fortune. Fortune working against Lenny Patterson. Harding will pass it off, and Cal continuing to pass that ball around. Ball's now in the hands of Fortune. Three-pointer attempt for Cal, no good. Rebound is picked up by Cal's freshman Jake Ubeck. Now Ubeck working against Vandermeer. Cal, again, not wasting any time, taking their time on their offensive possessions. Ubeck working against Jones, passes the ball off. Three-point attempt by Cal is good. Harding hits the 3 this time, gives Cal the 2-point advantage, 5-3.
Great ballman that time by the Vulcans, finding a wide-open shot for 3.
Vandermeer for 3, no good. Rebound picked up by Whedon, and Whedon will pass it off to Ubeck. Ubeck to the corner for Harding. Harding is going to get down low And 2 points for the Cal Vulcans. Points will go to Chris Williams, the 6'5" junior. And now Marcus Jones. Ball in hand for the Golden Eagles. And a blocking foul is going to be called on the freshman Ubeck. First foul of the game will be called on the freshman.
On that last offensive possession there for Cal, not bad defense by Drew Vandermeer, just Chris Williams, so much more athletic than Drew Vandermeer, and is able to win that battle down on the post, but nonetheless, good defense by Vandermeer, just unable to win that battle.
Ball's in hand to Calvin Edwards, and he take a deep three-pointer, doesn't even hit the rim. Rebound is picked up by Harding, and Harding will give it off to Fortune.
Not a great shot there by Calvin Edwards. Got to move the ball around a little bit more and find that open look.
Three-pointer for Cal. It's good. Harding, that's his second three of the game. That gives the Vulcans a 10-3 lead. Their shooting is quick, coming early on.
Cal, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc too, Ian.
Vandermeer puts that ball up, no good. Rebound is picked up by the Vulcans and tipped away by Drew Vandermeer. Sends that ball into the stands.
Good start by Drew Vandermeer there, Ian, even though he lost that hook shot there, actually was an air ball, but still didn't give up on the play, forced the tip pass out of bounds, still goes to Cal, but nonetheless, good hustle there from Drew Vandermeer to start things out for Clarion.
So we're now under our first media timeout. Matt, let's talk about the last meeting between these two teams. The Golden Eagles had a 15-point lead before losing 79-74. The leading scorer of that game was for Cal was Lowe, had 26 points and 9 rebounds. And Lowe isn't starting tonight, but we will see him, Keith Lowe, very soon, the 6'2" senior guard. A very impressive player is Lowe, and Matt, I believe you were at that game.
Actually, I engineered that game for our radio station, 91.7 WCUC, but Lowe had a great game, 26 points in that last matchup. The leading scorer on this ball team, 15.4 points per game, shooting 46% for the season. Quinton Harding also had a nice game too, when you mentioned him during the pregame. 15 points in the last matchup against Clarion, averaging 10 per game, shooting 40% on the season. But a tough loss for Clarion in that matchup, blowing that 15-point lead as Cal went on a 20-2 run to get the win.
Checking in now for the Golden Eagles is Aaron Johnson and Mike Kromka. We knew it wouldn't be long before they were checking in, and here they are. The Golden Eagles are in need of some improvement from Aaron Johnson, who's been quiet his past couple games. Aaron Johnson has a tendency, Matt, of just disappearing in games.
He has, and when he first was inserted into the lineup, was really great. Gave great flow to the offense, great shooter, especially from deep. Gave some nice post presence, but the last few games, when he gets frustrated, that's it. You see him kind of fade away from the game, and he's got to work on that as his career here at Clarion progresses.
Cal increased their lead to 9. 12-3 is the score with 15-14 remaining in this first half. Marcus Jones gives the ball to Kromka. Kromka now to Johnson, and the Golden Eagles will pass the ball around the perimeter. Calvin Edwards, his third attempt for behind the arc is no good. Rebound picked up kind of by Kromka before it goes out of bounds. And it will stay with the Golden Eagles as it went off the hands of Jake Ubeck of Cal.
And that time, Ian, that was a good shot attempt right there. You're seeing the replay from Calvin Edwards. Came off the screen, good ball movement by the Golden Eagles, and then Calvin Edwards follows his shot, forces the ball off of the Cal player, and able to retain possession rather for Clarion and his team.
Marcus Jones ready to inbound. Gets the ball back immediately from Kromka. Marcus, deep shot, no good. And it's taken away by Marcus. Calvin Edwards will go up. He's going to be fouled on his second attempt. Foul is called on number 52 for Cal, Anthony Liedl. Liedl checked in during the last timeout. So now Calvin will go to the line 4-2 with his Golden Eagles down by 9. And that first free throw was good.
Again, not a great shot by Marcus Jones off the inbound. Was kind of crowded in that far side of the court, but nonetheless, again, followed a shot, got the steal. Calvin Edwards, right place, right time. Should have finished that, but he's able to get some points at the free throw line.
Calvin will make it 12-5, and it's taken from Calvin. Calvin getting started early, can't hit the shot. Marcus Jones turns around, can't put it in. And a foul is going to be called.
It's going to be on the floor on Cal.
It's on Cal, number 22, Chris Williams.
You've seen the replay there. A great aggressive play from Calvin Edwards, something we've never seen from him really this season until tonight. And a couple of missed opportunities there to try and finish an easy layup, but Lenny Patterson goes up, is able to get the foul, and now Clarion's got possession.
Where was this Calvin Edwards all season? Calvin will pitch it back to Marcus, now back to Calvin. Calvin for three, no good. It looks like Calvin's just going to let it rip tonight, Matt.
Not bad, but again, he's still got to be smart with the ball, though, in terms of his shot selection, especially with his team down by 7.
Three-pointer is good for Cal. Ubeck hit it. And now it's a 15-5 lead for the Cal Vulcans. They're up by 10 with just a little over 14 to play in this first half.
And with Cal continuing to knock down their shots, especially from beyond the arc, increasing their lead. If you're Clarion offensively, you have to be careful with your shot selection.
Lenny Patterson, pull-up shot, no good. Rebound is picked up by Harding. And he'll give that ball to Ubeck. And the Cal Vulcans will set up their play. They're up by 10. Ball now in the hands of Williams. Williams to pass it over to Harding, and Harding down low to Lidl. Lidl not even close to the basket, but it falls right into the hands of number 12, Keith Lowe, and Lowe's fouled on his way up by Lenny Patterson. He'll go to the line for 2.
Lenny Patterson clearly lost that matchup there with Keith Lowe. Was absolutely dominant in the post and completely boxed out, but a good foul there as Keith Lowe would have the easy putback, and Lenny Patterson making Lowe go to the free throw line and earn him there.
Lowe's first free throw is up and good. Coming in for the Golden Eagles, Anthony Baker and Corey Pelovich. Lowe ready to take his second free throw. Keith Lowe, the talented senior, came off the bench tonight, hits his second free throw, puts the Vulcans up by 12. Marcus Jones up against Tynell Fortune. This will be an interesting matchup to see all night. Two guards that are built very similar, Matt.
They are, and both very athletic and can shoot the ball, so it'll be a great matchup to see tonight.
Johnson for three is good. That'll cut the lead to 9, 17-8. Golden Eagles back now on defense. Lidl will pass it off. Now it's into the hands of number 21, Art Cook. Cook passes it off to Fortune. And back into the hands of Lidl. Lidl against Kromka. Lidl trying to find some space and denied by Kromka. Big block. Back into the hands though of Lidl. And now Cook has that ball bounce off someone's hands. Pelovich is going to go to the hoop. Lays it in. Corey Pelovich isn't in the game for a minute and is making his impact known. Golden Eagles cut that lead to 7. Now Fortune setting up the play for the Vulcans. Passes it off to Lowe. Lowe passes, gets it back and denied by Kromka again. 2 blocks for the big man. And now possession will be awarded after the ball goes out of bounds.
Great play by Mike Kromka again. 2 defensive possessions in a row, 2 blocks in a row. You see the replay here, stuffing Keith Lowe, who was wide open on the backdoor pass. Great defense there by Mike Kromka.
12:20 remaining in this first half. Marcus Jones working against Fortune. Gives the ball off to Kromka. Kromka gives that ball to Anthony Baker. Baker back to Marcus, and Marcus will pass that ball off, and it's going to go out of bounds, but it will stay with the Golden Eagles. So we'll see Marcus Jones. He's ready to inbound. He's going to pass it real deep to Corey Pelovich. Pelovich working against Harding. Pelovich, the junior, trying to find Baker. He finally does. Baker has the ball poked away. Up goes Keith Lowe, and Keith Lowe draws the foul on his way up. So we'll see Lowe go to the line. Foul will be called on Aaron Johnson. That'll be his first, and we'll have another media timeout. So we're going to send it to a quick commercial break. Coming up, we'll be back for the final half of the first half of play. Ian Hunter with Matt Cotrillo. You're watching CUTV Sports.
Are you going out tonight? I can't. My parents say I have to be home right after work.
That's so gay.
Totally gay.
Ugh, that is so Emma and Julia.
Why are you saying that's so Emma and Julia?
Well, you know, when something is dumb or stupid, you say that's so Emma and Julia.
Who says that?
Everyone.
Imagine if who you are were used as an insult. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say?
Welcome back to Tippin Gymnasium. Ian Hunter with Matt Catrillo with CU TV Sports. The Clarion Golden Eagles up against the Cal Vulcans. Matt, Golden Eagles fell down pretty early, but have kind of scrapped their way back. They still trail by 7, but a lot of time left. They seem to be finally getting in a little bit of a rhythm.
Well, Cal just came out and shot the daylights out of themselves, especially from beyond the arc to kind of put Clarion in a little bit of a hole. But like you said, Ian, they're starting to find their way back, get some nice defensive stands, especially from the 2 blocks right in a row from Mike Kromka.
And it's going to be taken away. No, it's picked up by Fortune. Fortune finds his man Load right on the baseline, and it's good. So it looked like it was going to be a good play for the Golden Eagles, and Cal got that ball to fall in their direction.
A tough break there, 3-on-1 it turned into for Cal, and no chance for Aaron Johnson, who was back for Clarion defensively.
Marcus Jones sets up the play with 11.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Now Kromka working against Whedon, will pass that ball off. It's a deep 3, no good. Rebound picked up by Kromka. Off the Belovich miss. Ball's given to Johnson on the cut. Nice pass by Mike Kromka to Aaron Johnson.
Great find by Mike Kromka. Nice bounce pass and a good move by Aaron Johnson. Very smart cut. Knew he was wide open, had his man beat. Mike Kromka was able to find Johnson for the lay-in.
And we're going to throw it to a replay. Just watch the passing ability on here. You see Kromka grab the rebound, and you see at the top of your screen, Johnson just cut past his man, go right to the hoop. Nothing better than that. And Cal inbounds, ready to set off this next possession. Ball's now in the hands of Fortune. Fortune passes it down low to Harding. Harding shoots, it's good.
Good defense by Mike Kromka that time. Just a great shot by Quentin Harding. We know how great of a scorer he is. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast, Ian. Just a great shot on top of Mike Kromka by Quentin Harding.
Marcus Jones passing the ball off. We haven't seen anything from Marcus quite yet today. Kromka trying to find some space, puts it up, and it's good. Took a friendly bounce for Mike Kromka. The Golden Eagles will cut the lead to 7.
Kromka did a nice job keeping his feet, bouncing off his man, just floated up, and he's able to get the roll off the back of the iron.
Tynell Fortune, ball in hand. He's going to pass that ball off to Lowe. And the Vulcans using their passing to set up space, and they do it again. Lidl gets the bucket and puts the Vulcans back up by 9 with 10 to play in this first half.
I think Aaron Johnson lost Mitchell Whedon there in the post, and Whedon was left wide open. Easy putback for him.
Belovich gives it to Marcus Jones. Jones has the ball taken away from him by Lowe. Another steal for Lowe, and Lowe puts it up and in. Nope, no good. And they'll go out of bounds, so the Golden Eagles will get a golden opportunity after Cal just blows theirs. They try to be a little bit too fancy, I think, Matt.
A definitely missed opportunity there for Cal as after Marcus Jones was trying to be too fancy, trying to dribble the ball around his back, and he cost himself a turnover, but Cal unable on the other end to cash in.
Lenny Patterson now playing the point for the Golden Eagles, passes it to Johnson. Johnson now to Kromka. Golden Eagles trying to find some penetrating room in this Cal defense. Lenny Patterson with 13 on the shot clock, still trying to set up a play. Belovich is open in the corner, no good. Rebound is picked up by the Vulcans, Art Cook, and he'll pass that ball off to Fortune, and Fortune will set up. Quick 3 now for the Vulcans is good.
Lenny Patterson was right there on top of Tyrell Fortune, and he just couldn't get quick enough to Keith Lowe on the far side of the court and nail for 3. If you're Lenny Patterson, you got to be able to move that quick, especially trailing back, trying to go for the steal on the other end after Cal got the rebound coming back the other way. But the Golden Eagles have to do a better job overall of guarding that 3-point line, because Cal is shooting the daylights from beyond the arc tonight.
The score right now, 26-14 with 9:05 remaining. Calvin Edwards and Aaron Johnson have combined for 10 of the 14 points. Right now for the Golden Eagles, so that tells me, Matt, that Golden Eagles need some other players to get involved.
Yeah, definitely. And what we talked about in the pregame, how Clarion's done a better job of that, but right now we're not quite seeing that overall from Clarion thus far. Especially from guys like Marcus Jones, Lenny Patterson, really not seeing too much from them.
Lenny Patterson catches the inbound. The clock will tick under 9 for this first half. Ball's going to go low to Belovic. Belovic trying to find some space. No good. Rebound picked up by Kromko, who's playing well in the glass tonight. And Kromko put it back in, cutting that lead to 10.
Good strong play in the post from both Corey Belovic, even though he missed there, and Mike Kromko to get the tough rebound and put back.
And the Golden Eagles struggling to box out, and that's why Cal gets 2 points there. Now Calvin Edwards, deep three, but he's fouled from beyond the arc.
One of those guys, Ian, that needs to step it up in the post is Aaron Johnson. Losing his guys defensively, leaving his guys wide open, and he's getting boxed out both sides of the floor, really not making a name for himself at all. The only guys that are really working hard down there right now and getting those tough rebounds and putbacks is Corey Belovic and Mike Kromko.
Calvin's first shot is up and good. Calvin having a solid start to his night. He cuts that lead to 11. Calvin, his second free throw of 3 is good. Checking back in now for the Golden Eagles is Dave Colbert. And for the Vulcans is Anthony Liedl. Now Calvin with his final free throw attempt is no good. Rebound is tipped in by Dave Colbert.
Lucky bounce there, Ian, for Dave Colbert.
And I think Dave will take it. 28-20 is now the score with 8:17 remaining in this very quick first half.
And now Colbert 5 points away from 100 career points.
Cal using the perimeter to set up their offense. Ball's in the hands of Ubik. Ubik working against Colbert, trying to find some space. Will pass it off to Liedl, and now over to the corner for Keith Lowe. Lowe comes in, shoots, no good. Rebound picked up by Liedl, who just skies above the rim to tip that ball in.
Well, total mismatch there. It was only Dave Colbert and Lenny Patterson back rebounding for Clarion, and Anthony Liedl had that all the way.
Corey Belovic gives it low to Colbert. Colbert pulls up, shoots, no good. Rebound is picked up by Whedon. Here come the Cal Vulcans. Whedon has it taken away. It was deflected by Calvin Edwards. Now it's up to Lenny, and Lenny loses the handle on his way up. What looked to be an easy lay-in for Lenny Patterson, and the ball goes off his hands.
Oh, man, you got to finish that if you're Lenny Patterson. That was a great defensive effort again from none other than Calvin Edwards, who we haven't seen that again, as you and I mentioned earlier, from all year. Seemed like his man was going back door, thought he had it. Calvin Edwards turns his head, sees the pass coming, and just knocks the pass away, gets Anthony Baker out on the brink, but Lenny Patterson unable to finish that.
And we are under immediate timeout. Matt, let's talk about the tough year it has been for the Golden Eagles. Only 62 points per game. That's the lowest this school has had since 1950.
That's a long time.
That is a long time. Most losses in a season already at 19, obviously trying to avoid to lose 20, and their first losing home record since 1970. Golden Eagles are 5-9 at home, and let's throw out some other statistics, Matt. Of Clarion's 13 losses, there should be 19 losses, 13 have been by double digits. It's been that kind of year.
Yeah, it has been that kind of year, and it's because of everything under the sun that can go wrong for Clarion, or, you know, not play well, not making shots. We mentioned the low scoring. That's the main reasons why you're going to lose by double-digit points every single night. If you don't come to play, you don't come and make your shots and get
only
back
38% from the field this season is Clarion. That's good for 279th in the country. And for the record, there's just over 280 teams.
So, yeah, that's not good.
Cal setting up on offense. Ball's in the hand of Lowe. Lowe trying to find his man. He finds Liedl. Liedl has that ball hit off his hands and it'll go out of bounds.
Once again, tight defense from the Golden Eagles. Mike Kromka and Anthony Baker double teaming Keith Lowe that time, forced him to turn the ball over.
Marcus Jones gives the ball to Calvin Edwards. Calvin playing a spirited first half. Marcus Jones trying to find Anthony Baker. He does. Baker for three, no good. Rebound is going to be smacked out of the hands by Dave Colbert. It's going to go right into the hands of Fortune. Fortune down to Lidl. Lidl working against Colbert, and good defense. Or no, not by Dave Colbert, by Mike Crum. Good D. And now Baker will give that ball to Dave Colbert, and Dave Colbert is denied from behind by Lidl.
Colbert did not see that coming, and again, Anthony Lidl having his way, as he probably has all the mismatches tonight down in the post for Cal.
And Lowe will go to the line for one after making a tough basket and getting fouled on the way up. There's the replay. What an athletic move by Keith Lowe. That's the first foul on Anthony Baker this evening. Now checking in for the Golden Eagles will be Evan Battle, seeing his first minutes of tonight, and Aaron Johnson checked in too. Mike Kromko will take a seat on the bench. We'll see Lenny Patterson also check in for Anthony Baker at the 6:15 mark. 32-20 is the score. The Cal Vulcans leading by 12. Keith Lowe has a chance to make it 13 with this free throw. And he does. 33-20. The Golden Eagles trailing 13 to the Cal Vulcans.
Every time, though, Cal is taking a double-digit lead, Clarion is able to respond back and get the deficit back within single digits. Another opportunity to do that here. Getting late in the first half, 6 minutes to go.
And Calvin trying to find some space. He drives, going to give the ball up to Battle. Battle's going to give it to Jones. Marcus, deep shot, no good. Rebound picked up by Evan Battle. Muscled his way up and had that ball poked out by Keith Lowe. So possession will stay with the Golden Eagles.
Great job by Evan Battle. You've seen the replay. The give from Calvin Edwards. Working the ball, Clarion back and forth here.
Marcus gives the ball to Johnson. Johnson to Lenny. Lenny working against Lowe, pulls up near the free throw line. No good. Rebound is picked up by Cal U. Went off the face of Lidl before it fell into the hands of Ubik.
Been a tough night for Lenny Patterson so far, Ian.
Ball now in the hand of Keith Lowe. Lowe gets Marcus to jump, but he loses the handle himself. Somehow falls into the hands of a Cal player and into the hands of Ubik. All the bounce is going Cal's way. Three-point attempt from Lowe, no good. Rebound picked up by Johnson, and now Calvin Edwards up to Marcus. Marcus is going to be fouled on his way up, and is Marcus all right?
He went down hard there.
He pops right back up.
Great job by Marcus to get out on the brink there, as you see in the replay. Go up, go on top of Keith Lowe to try and get the layup there, but he's going to find himself going to the line for two.
And Marcus shaking his hand, seems to have heard it on that previous encounter. We'll see, I'm sure after these free throws, Marcus will be taken out to be examined. But that was quite an awkward fall that he took, Matt.
Yeah, at first I thought he landed on his head, and I really was concerned, but he popped right back up, so obviously that wasn't the case. I think he might have fallen hard on that left forearm that he keeps shaking, left wrist possibly.
Marcus' second free throw is good, so
I guess he's
thankfully he doesn't have to shoot with the left wrist.
That's true.
Marcus cuts that lead to 11. Ubik gets the ball. He's going to go to the rim, and it's blocked by Johnson. Marcus flying up the court. Kicks it to the corner where Calvin's waiting. Calvin will kick it out to Johnson. Johnson open for three, no good.
Again, Calvin Edwards still playing aggressive, but he's obviously got to get back on defense here. And that's going to happen.
Yeah, quick three-pointer for Cal, and they will extend their lead.
It's good to be aggressive, and it's good to see Calvin Edwards play like that tonight. But at the same time, you got to get back defensively and guard that three-point line, because as we've seen this whole game so far, the Vulcans are killing the Golden Eagles from beyond the arc.
Evan Battle can't get a foul called as he tried to act his way to getting the call. His shot was no good. Now Cal setting up their offense. 4:10 remaining in this first half. Lidl will kick it out to Fortune. Fortune Going to take his time with 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock and 4 minutes remaining in this first half.
Critical stop here for Clarion. Try and keep the deficit at a reasonable level.
And that's not going to help. Three-pointer by Tynell Fortune, and now a timeout is called by the Golden Eagles at 3:48 remaining in this first half. They trail by 17, 39-22.
That exactly proved my point right there. Another big three again from Cal, this time from Tynell Fortune. He's knocked a couple of them down tonight for the Vulcans. And that kind of kills the momentum there for Clarion, now facing their largest deficit of 17. But again, Ian, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, Clarion has found a way to fight back to a single-digit deficit, but Cal's just come back and put the deficit back in double digits. So Clarion's got to respond back here. Critical point now of the first half. 3:48 to go. Clarion's got to really clamp down defensively and guard the three-point line.
I think they're having a hard time. Let's look at the Vulcans on fire, and that's what they've been tonight. 45% from the field this year. That's second in the PSAC. Fortune shooting at a 51%. And the other player at 55.9%, nearly almost 56% per game. That's incredible.
It is. For an individual player, that absolutely is. And Lytle showing that here tonight, especially, and even dominating the post, too. Really, this whole Cal team is have a lot of unbelievable shooters here tonight, and they're displaying that early, especially, again, from the three-point line.
And what a shot that was by Tynell Fortune. Again, 5'10", 155 pounds, and Cal is right now 15 of 26 from the field. Clarion only 7 of 27.
And that's the difference of this ball game, obviously, right now. I mentioned in the pregame, Ian, both these teams are pretty much virtually the same as far as height and size are concerned. It's going to be who knocks down the big shots and gets the defensive stands at key points of the game so far. Cal dominating in that department, especially in shooting, up by 17.
Marcus thought about shooting. He's going to pass the ball to Calvin. Now to Lenny. Lenny for three. No good. Rebound picked up by Fortune. So make that 7 for 28.
Got to avoid going down by 20 for Clarion, or get a stop altogether, but especially going down by 20 from another three here from the Vulcans.
Looking at 3 minutes remaining in this half. Shot is no good. Rebound will be picked up by Fortune.
Again, Anthony Vidal down in the post, forcing that offensive rebound and a second possession chance here for the Vulcans. Going to get back to Tynell Fortune at the top of the key.
That ball went off the foot of a player, so play is stopped. Checking in for the Golden Eagles is Belovich. So we have another media timeout, and Matt, we were talking about the Cal sharpshooting, so why don't we just continue talking about that? They've been shooting sharp all season. Tonight has been no different, as we just had the graphic up there of them shooting as well as they are tonight. And if you're Clarion, the defense has been there, but Cal just doesn't care. They're just making shots anyway.
Yeah, exactly. They've been on fire, as you've seen on paper, and now you're seeing it out on the court.
So we're seeing right now our partners at WCUC calling the game. James Ferguson and Jen Linkhorst.
James' first game tonight, calling play-by-play, does the public address announcing here at Tippett Gymnasium for the women's games, and again, his first opportunity calling play-by-play with Jen Linkhorst.
They're not getting to call the greatest of games for the Golden Eagles right now, but game's not over yet. We've seen Clarion go on some rolls, especially late in halves. They make things interesting. They've cut deficits, and they'll have to do that again here.
And Ian, you know me, I'm always a believer in miracles. And
sometimes I don't know why, Matt.
I always believe it. So we still got plenty of time, but Clarion's got to start clamping down defensively on this sharpshooting Cal Vulcans team, and they got to start shooting well offensively, but not going to do it right there. As you see, Chris Williams easily getting a bucket off the inbound.
Checking in for the Golden Eagles while we were talking was number 22, Jeremy Schmader. So Coach Ron Ryder clearing his bench tonight, making sure everyone gets some adequate minutes. Belovich tries to get that ball to Johnson, nearly taken away. Marcus Jones gives now the ball back to Johnson. Johnson's denied by Lowe.
Wow.
Lowe skied for that ball and denied Aaron Johnson.
He is just so athletic on a guy that's just about a couple inches taller than him, and that being Aaron Johnson. Lowe just went up there and swatted that ball away from Aaron Johnson.
Deep two-pointers, no good. Rebound picked up by Kromka. 2 minutes left in this first half. Pelovic, ball in hand. Gives that ball to Schmader. Schmader, deep two is good for Jeremy Schmader.
Good step back mid-range jumper there from Jeremy Schmader. Getting a start in the Lockhaven game here at Timmins Gymnasium in January. Played pretty well, and that got a couple of rebounds here and there, did his part. And a guy stepping in the starting library once in a while does the job coming off the bench, and he did a nice job there offensively.
And Lidl's shot is no good. Had a good move, a good post move. No good. Now Marcus Jones going to take his time with this offense. And he passed it right to Lidl. Passed it literally right to him.
I don't think he wanted to go there. I think he was trying to go to Johnson, but an obvious miscommunication down in the post.
And three-pointer by Fortune. And that will increase Cal's lead to 20. 44-24 is the score.
Probably the worst that could have happened there for Clarion this late in the first half. Now just about down in the last minute.
Johnson will pass it to Schmader. Schmader down to Kromka, and Kromka looking, puts the ball up. It's good for Mike Kromka. We're going to tick under a minute to go in this first half.
Good answer back again by Mike Kromka, having a great first half. Now the Golden Eagles just got to try and hold Cal into the teens and see what they can do going into halftime.
Lidl pass it off to Fortune, top of the key. 15 seconds on the shot clock, 33 remaining on the game clock. Harding will pass the ball off to Lowe. Lowe taking his time, working at Schmader, finds some room behind the arc. No good. Rebound picked up by Pelovic.
Best defensive stand of the night for Clarion.
And Marcus Jones draws a foul on his way up.
Great drive by Marcus Jones. Again, we talked about we haven't seen much from him this entire first half. A good drive off the good defensive stand by the Golden Eagles. Got the bucket and one.
Checking in for the Golden Eagles now is Drew Vandermeer. Marcus Jones has not checked out of this game after an awkward fall about 4 minutes ago. He stayed in, he's gutting it out. And he's at the line again. First free throw for Marcus is no good. Rebound picked up by the Cal Vulcans. And a timeout is going to be called by Coach Bill Brown of the Cal Vulcans with 12.5 seconds remaining in this first half. He's going to try to set up and draw up one final play for this half, Matt. Clarion just has to keep this in the teens right now.
If I'm Coach Ryder, the only thing I say to my players defensively, guard the three-point line. I'll probably keep saying it's not like a broken record throughout the rest of this game, but it's crucial. You got the lead down to 16. You're down by 19 if they make this three-pointer. And if you're Cal's coach, who do you give the ball to? Because you have
everyone's shooting.
Yeah, I mean, you have a plethora of people to choose from. So I'll be curious to see who gets the ball in the final in this final 12 and a half seconds. To see who gets the final shot.
And one of your keys to the game today, Matt, was to have fun. It is never fun to be down by 20.
That is true.
Lowe.
But again, you got to just play loose.
Gives that ball up, down back into the hands of Lowe. Lowe. This looks like he's going to have that ball taken away, and he does. So it'll be a jump ball with possession being awarded to the Golden Eagles with 2.7 seconds remaining in this first half.
A great job, too, Ian, by the bench guys, Drew Vandermeer and Jeremy Schmader, getting around and hugging like a teddy bear Keith Lowe and denying him any chance for a shot, but smartly enough to force the jump ball and get the ball back. And now, you're Clarion. You get the final opportunity with 2.7 seconds to go.
And the best part about it is Clarion will go into the half not trailing by 20.
Exactly.
They'll be for the most part down by 16. At the worst, they'll be down by 16. But it is never fun to lose by 20. So I think if you're Coach Ron Ryder, you say to your guys, okay, we got our seniors, they're playing time. We got to go try to win this basketball game now.
Absolutely. And on all the seniors right now, maybe with the exception of Lenny Patterson, but he's had a tough first half. Some shots are not falling for him. He's had a couple of bad turnovers, but knowing him, he'll pick it up in the second half. But the rest of the seniors playing very well in this game tonight, including Drew Vandermeer inbounding the pass.
Marcus Jones puts up the buzzer beater, and it's no good. Marcus probably had an extra second. to make something happen, but the score at the half is 44-28. We're going to send it to a break. We'll be back for the beginning of the second half of play. This is the final home game for the men's basketball team here at Waldo S. Tippin Gymnasium. I'm Ian Hunter. We'll see you next in the half.